Bruh, you know what? I'm starting to think that my camera really doesn't freaking like me, yeah? These times, almost every single video I've recorded, my camera keeps on cutting. And I do not realize, I've only realized once, and that was, I realized that on time once. But fam, I didn't even get, oh my gosh man, that's actually so annoying. Okay, so guys, basically, the step-by-step video footage that I got for like me doing the eyes cut out. The camera cut out, and I wasn't able to salvage the footage. So now all I have is an already completed, like, the step-by-step drawing of the eye that's already been recorded. It's oh my gosh man, this camera does not rate me, bruv. Don't rate me, man. Guys, don't mind me, I'm just being a little bit dramatic, but still, it's kind of peak though, cause like, I sounded so professional, fam. No stutters, no nothing, fam. Oh, I'm so disappointed, man. Oh well. Back to the video. Wait, hold on guys, real quick, just pause if you want to like take a quick second just to like go over the step-by-step drawings for the eye.
Oh, say less.
Okay guys, so for the lips, it is similar to an eye, but it's different in a way because instead of doing the circle straight away for the pupil, I put a line straight through, and then I went and did the curved lines, the arched lines. So that's basically the outer line of the lips. And once I've finished like getting the outline of the lips done, I just went back to the middle section of the whole lip area and just put a line straight down. So it's yeah, I basically just done that for like symmetrical reasons, so it looks nice and symmetrical. So now I'm just adding in some ovals, just like in specific areas, like the top part of the lips, either side of the lip, and then one right in the middle at the top. That's where the cupid's bow of the lip will be. And then I'm putting round circles at the bottom of the lip, right in the middle, so that the lips look kind of plush. So that's generally a reason why I did the circles at the bottom, because once like all the detail is being added on, it will make a lot more sense. It basically just like gives more shape to the bottom part of the lip. So now I'm just going over and adding a little bit of detailing, and then I'm gonna go back over again after I've added like all the detail that I want on both the top and bottom half of the lips done, and then I'll just like rub out the guidelines. And remember guys, that when you're like doing like any type of drawing, it's okay to make mistakes. Like literally, we all make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes, as long as I don't really consider them as a mistake. Like the Don Corleone himself, Bob Ross, said, like, you don't ever make mistakes, you just make happy accidents. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just going back and I'm like just fixing some of my happy accidents. And then I'm just starting to add a little bit of detail in. I'm adding a little bit of shading in where the separation of the lip is, and I'm just adding a little bit of creases on the top and bottom part of the lip. And then later on I'm going to go back again just to add more detail. In terms of detail, I mean like I'm just going to be adding like shading and getting the highlights done. So for the highlights, I'm just using a normal rubber and like rubbing out sections of the lip that I don't want to be as shaded as some other sections of the lips. And then I'm just going over with my finger to smudge it up and like blend it together. I would recommend you get like a graphite pencil set, because they basically have all the stuff that you would need. They have like them blending tools that most people that use graphite pencils would use for blending and highlighting. Now I'm just going over again, adding more detail as I'm going along, and there we go, that's the first one. So now I'm moving on to the second one. Like, as you can see, right just before I moved on to the, well, I haven't started the second variation of the lips yet. I'm just still focusing on the first lip, because as I, well, it's weird because it's like the moment I took my eyes off the rough sketch, it's like I saw my happy mistakes. Okay, so now for the second one, I basically just, okay, so basically for the second variation of the the lip, I basically just drew a long isosceles triangle, and right at the top where the point is, I did like a little curve. That's where I want my cupid's bow to be. And then I just did a little line semi in the middle, but like just a little bit lower than the middle part of the like isosceles triangle. So that was basically just the first like guideline on how to like do the second variation of lips. And then in the second box, you can see that I just I did the same isosceles triangle with the line in the middle, and then the little curve at the like towards the top of the triangle, point of the triangle. But then you can start to see that I started adding little curve lines around the side where the little like curve near the top of the isosceles triangle is. That's basically just helping me get the shape of the lips. There wasn't much space as I was doing this, so yeah, that's basically why I just done the third box wide, because I wanted as much space as I could get. And once again, I'm just going over doing the same thing that I did before. This is just making it easier for you guys. So if you're like basically drawing along with me, you won't have to like pause as much. But yeah, basically what I started doing here is I started to indicate where I wanted the teeth to be on the lips, and then I just started getting the all the dimensions of the lips done. So I started getting the bottom part of the lips done, and then the top half of the lip done, and then I just rubbed out all the guidelines, and then I had the rough sketch there ready to now for me to now start adding more detail. So basically I got the outlines of where I wanted the shadings to be on the lips, and then once I'd done that, I blended them together, and then I did the a similar thing that I did in the first variation of the lips. I just started marking out where I wanted all the lip lines, and then going back again and doing further shading, trying to blend everything together so it looks more natural. Once again, if you have graphite pencils or a graphite pencil set, it would like turn out a lot better, because the pencil I'm using is not a graphite pencil, so it's kind of hard to blend properly. But yeah, that's besides the point anyway, it doesn't matter. And then after I did that, I just went and started to like focus on getting everything looking more realistic. So you can start to see that I'm just like going over the shading again and trying to darken the little like lines in the lips, the little creases in the lips where the lines are. And then I'm just like rubbing out sections that I don't want the lead that I've now blended. And yeah, basically I repeated the process that I did for lip 1, but in a different way, if that makes sense. I wanted it to look more realistic, because the lip 1 it does look realistic, but to a certain extent. So I wanted lip 2 to look more realistic, so I was just going over again with the rubber, trying to rub out some parts just to get my highlight popping. Just to get my highlight popping. And yeah, just going over the darker shadings, the darker tones, getting the shadings done, and just blending it all together to get my medium tones. Okay, so guys, I'm going to be doing 2 variations for the nose. It's going to be similar to how I did the lips. First, you just want to draw a normal circle, and then draw 2 lines either side of the circle. but around like the bottom half of the circle. Actually, it doesn't really matter where you put it, because that will basically help you to it'll help you kind of change things up, so it won't always be you drawing the same nose structure. If you like try to change the way you like do your guidelines, that will also help you to start improving the way you do your noses, so you won't fall into the habit of drawing the same type of nose all the time. Once you've done that, you just want to start to indicate the structure of the nose, like the nostrils and where the cupid's bow will be. Once that's done, you just need to start to add in some shading and add in extra detail, that way you feel you need to add more detail. But you can do that as you go along, like not forgetting to rub out sections you want your highlights, and add in more graphite pencil or whatever pencil you're using to like add more shading to parts that you want, to areas that you want a darker tone. That's like variation 1. Variation 2 is kind of similar to 1, but it's just like it's just at a different angle. If you just want to do the steps that you did for step 1, well, do the steps that you did for nose 1, but you want to like try to give emphasis on the 3D effect. So basically just focus on getting the bridge of the nose and the side view that you're seeing more, and you also want to indicate the bottom of the nose where the nostrils are and where the cupid's bow will eventually like start to form, so that gives it more of a 3D effect. Basically it will look like you're looking at someone's nose at an angle. Alright guys, so now you've got like a basic understanding of how I do my nose, the process I'm doing. These two are similar, but you know, it's just all about perspective, so like different angles. So I was just trying to like show you guys, like give you guys an example of a head-on, like nose, like face, like staring face on, and then like a 3/4 view. But yeah. Moving on to the ears now. I'm probably gonna have to I'm gonna have to turn over the page because this page is full, fam. Okay, so now I'm gonna be doing 3 different variations or perspectives for how I would normally do the ears. So for the first one, you can see again I did a step-by-step guide for, well, I did a step-by-step guide for all of them. But for the final piece, you can see that I just like did the step-by-step guide of how I did the whole process, but basically in one sitting. So I got all the guidelines done, and then once I got all the guidelines done, I like started rubbing out the guidelines, getting all my shadings done, and getting all the highlights done and medium tones down. Yeah, basically for the first ear I drew a kind of like a semicircle, and then the second step of for the first ear, I started to make the lower half of the semicircle more narrow compared to the top half. So you start to bring it in and like reduce the semicircle at the bottom half, but still maintaining the roundness of the semicircle at the top half of the semicircle. And then you just start to add all the detail you need to add. However, just like the eyes and nose, lips and mouth, like every like shape is like generally going to be different. The best thing I would suggest is to try to like change it up. So if you want to do like multiple drawings of each variation of the ears, but like try to change up the way you do each of the guidelines, if that makes sense. So some parts will be bigger than the original, some parts will be smaller, some parts will be more like darker, some parts, yeah, it just makes sense to try and do multiple versions. But for the sake of the video, I'm just doing one version just to give you guys a little idea. Yeah, all the waffling done. You just want to start adding all the detail, all the shading, adding in all the medium tones and all the highlights by rubbing out parts that you want to stand out, or parts that you want to look like the light may be reflecting off that specific area. So if like light's hitting off the skin, the parts that are generally lighter would be the highlight. Okay, so the process for ear 2 is very similar to the process for ear 1. However, it's just the way you draw the shapes of the ear. Once again, going back to what I was saying about like perspectives and like the angles. So the second ear is basically like a head-on view. So the head-on view is gonna like be less rounded than the side view, because the side view is, yeah, it's basically a side view, so you're getting the whole view of the ear, whereas the front view, you're not getting the whole view of the ear, you're not getting the whole roundness of the ear, you're just getting certain parts of the ear that stand out. Okay, and now for A3, because it's like a rear view, it's going to be a little bit different, but hopefully you guys can still follow along with me. But yeah, first off, you just want to draw kind of like a weird little squiggly line. I know, it looks wild right now, but just give it some time. Give it some time, guys. It will all make sense as it goes along. But yeah, step 2, you want to do another squiggly line, but on the other side of the first squiggly line that you did, and just like try at the top of the line, you want to overlap it. So basically make it do kind of like a loop over the top part of the first squiggly line that you did, and then you want to connect it onto the other side of the squiggly line. And then step 3, you just want to add in the little like parts of the ear that connects the ear itself to the temple of the head. And then after that, you can just start to add extra detail where you feel you need a little bit more attention or detail, and then start getting the shading, your highlights and medium tones all done. Obviously there are more like perspectives. There's not just like a side view, a rear view, and a head-on view. What I would suggest is, if you want to like take reference pictures, you could just take a picture of your own ear and just like copy that, but like take it at different angles. So take a picture of your ear at a head-on angle, then a side view, and then a rear view, and then just try to get different angles. And like going back to what I said in, I think it was the previous video, about like drawing what you actually see rather than what you think you see, because that's another thing that I and a lot of other artists like fall into the habit of doing. But like I'm trying to obviously work on bettering that. Alright guys, so that's basically just step-by-step guide on how I do the ears. So the top one, you can see that clearly. Let me just turn this light off. There we go, that's better. So yeah, as you can see, hold on, let me try. Oh god, this is a flop. I'm joking. Yeah, basically the top one would generally be a side/profile view. So if you was looking at someone's side on, you would see the side of their ear. So that's the full ear. So that's why it's more like, that's why it's more curved out. So it's like so here it's like more curving. The line is more curved out rather than this one, which is more pointed at the top because it's at a front view, head-on view. So if you was looking at someone, like someone's face, and you looked at their ear, you would basically like see that type of ear. Now that type of like shape for the ear is less rounded than this and the side view, whereas the rear view, so from behind, if you're looking at someone's ear from behind, you would generally see that type of shape. It looks weird, but yeah. Yeah guys, I hope you guys, well, I hope this was somewhat beneficial and informative for you guys. Just let me know down in the comments more more ideas you would like to see. But yeah, basically I just wanted to show you guys how I would like go about doing my facial features, techniques that I use, and how I would like go about getting all the shading and highlighting done, and like getting all the mediums. But that's like with black and white. In like future videos, I will be like doing something similar to this, but like color based. So I'll be working with color rather than black and white, and I will get graphite pencils because I forgot how enjoyable this is, like working with just black and white, because I've gotten so used to working with like paints and colors and like markers and felt tips and all that, I kind of forgot about black and white. But yeah, I enjoyed it was an enjoyable process, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Hopefully you guys draw along with me as I'm doing it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Your boy is out. Yo guys, what's good? It's your boy BK. Part 1 you guys may have already seen. If you haven't seen that already, the link, yeah, it should be somewhere up here. I think around this side. Just click on the link.
Oh, say less.